a little bit easier to play. But, you know, going into game 2, though, if we're looking at just the draft, don't look at the players. Who do you give the edge to? And just, you know, again, let's look at this in a vacuum.
In a vacuum, I mean, let's see. I mean, Pay,
Don't look at the players.
historically hasn't been my favorite pick going into drafts, right? But we have stuff like the Shi in the mid lane, which we know has been more of a meta hero recently, being able to kind of dictate where your lane opponent goes, or even into those team fights. If they try and go for a big engage, she can just move them wherever she wants to. But I have to say, look at Alpha 7. It seems like more of a dominant draft here, but Almighty might get picked off as first blood already. Is that proving me wrong, or Vitality just being very aggressive in this early stage?
Yeah, and KK doing a good job. Like, he was eating some of those shots, right? The Resplendent Revolver, he was just happily taking them, but it was all a bait because he realized, you know, that the rest of his team was going to be there. But when gets a kill on that one, and that's going to change things up. And again, Dao doesn't need to be aggressive. He doesn't need to invade the enemy jungle because he can continue to farm. He's going to take whatever's in the mid lane as well.
Yeah, his teammates in the lanes are doing perfect there. Like you said, KK going into this Season 3 Invitational was one of the star players that people were focusing on, obviously on like Honor of King social media and stuff like that. And it's really paying dividends to that whole thing, right? Like, he's shown respect up into the Clash lane. Honestly, probably one of the best Clash laners that are in Season 3 Invitational. And we're only on day 1, but I'm pretty confident to saying that for KK, especially being a new player on the global stage.
Yeah, but he's playing, you know, to the T. Like, this team is a well-oiled machine. I know it's only like a couple games that we've seen them play on the pro level, but look at the movements that they're making. They're making it very difficult for Alpha 7 to kind of get anything going. They find Almighty yet again, and we talk about how this guy is pretty much their lifeblood, and he's been focused. He has not had the space and time to farm.
I mean, if they can't focus him in the draft, they've got to focus him on the Gorge, right? They have to put a stomp to Almighty at some point, at some perspective within this game. And they're doing it in terms of kills. They want to get the kills onto Almighty so he doesn't get the resources he needs. He doesn't get that attack speed limit that you need to get to with Marco Polo before you start building anything else and before he starts getting brutal. Proccing is passive as well. But I feel like Team Vitality, they might have the edge here, but Alpha 7 I don't want to call out just yet. I feel like they have some great late game, mid to late game team fight potential.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. Almighty, the Marco Polo is definitely going to do his damage. He's going to be able to just kind of get there. But getting there is the problem, right? Yeah. He has just hit level 4. He's 2 levels behind On right now. And this is a world of hurt. He has not been able to farm. Look at On. Teleports to the bottom lane, sees that Almighty's there. He's going to make his life miserable with this 2-level advantage, and he's going to push him away. But Team Vitality making good moves across the map.
Yeah, it's a bit of a rotation here from KK back up into the Clash lane with Dao. But here we go. Gets pushed away from Niap. A good little bit of a disengage mechanic there from the side of Alpha 7. They don't want to take a team fight just yet, especially with the neutral objectives being up in about 30 seconds time. They don't want to lose a lane. And that potentially there from Almighty and Anne's aggression there, he could have potentially just cleared out that farm lane and made it a lot easier for Dao just to come on top of the Tyrant that's coming up in 15 seconds time.
But we were, like, I was just taking note of On and how he's just, like, farming really well and all that stuff. But he's keeping pace with Dao, right? Yeah. The jungler, usually who's, like, the highest level. He's done such a good job of just making moves across the map and just taking away a lot of what Alpha 7 wants, which is even though, like, their jungle camps have just, everything has been threatened. And they're even going to take the bottom T1. This has been an all-Team Vitality game thus far.
Yeah, this is the thing with Team Vitality's draft, right? It is a early game draft. They have a ticking time bomb on their draft because if Alpha 7, yes, even though they've just lost this T1 down into the farm lane, if they can hold out the mid T1, that detrimental T1 out of all of them, I believe, they could hopefully come back in that late game, right? There's a lot of late game potential on the side of Alpha 7, and where Team Vitality start to fall off, that's where maybe Alpha 7 come through.
They found Danny. KK, he's going to get the kill on that one. They want to go in On. Thought about going on diving the tower, but through it all, it looks like they're going to take the Crimson Golem. Dao wasn't even in the team fight, but he's getting farm and he's invading the enemy jungle.
invading enemy jungle, and it's going to be just as much ferocious now that he's got the Axe of Torment as well. The anti-squishy hero item on the side of Pei there, and that T1 in the mid lane has to be defended here by the side of Alpha 7. They don't want to lose another T1 because it looks like the Clash lane's being worked upon here as well. We do see a rotation from Niap. They may not get it, or he may just be in the nick of time to save that T1 as well.
Like, they're just providing so much space, even for Dao to just continue farming. He's like teleporting all over the map, just taking whatever is there. Once he hits critical mass, he's going to do some serious damage. It's going to be scary. On, even going in for this one, tries to go in. Donnie dead yet again. Dao is now joined. Almighty has to limp away, and it looks like they're going to take the T1 mid here.
T1 mid. I mean, Alpha 7, are they going to get a kill on the board anytime soon? It doesn't look quite like it. Dao, man.
Dao going in, gets Almighty, and takes out Fury as well. KK is just being a beast, and it looks like An will take Valau as well, and Team Vitality, everything is going their way. They want to take the mid T2 as well, and Team Vitality taking down Alpha 7, especially early in this game.
Yeah, I mean, 6 minutes in, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We need Alpha 7 just to clear their minds. They need to think, right, okay, we need to try and get some neutral objectives on the board here. Dao is going to completely just cut that dream from them there and then taking the Overlord once more for himself. But right now, we're seeing that 22k gold to 15k, and it's showing on the Gorge.
Yeah, Dao. 3 levels up against Danny. I mean, yes, he's died twice here. Danny getting so low yet again. He has to limp away, but Team Vitality taking everything, contesting things, and Alpha 7 can't even farm. Almighty is very poor as well. He is hungry and not able to find any sort of farm.
Yeah, no farm at all. I mean, that's the whole point of that T1 in the mid lane, right? That is your safety net. And not only the T1, the T2's got as well, both in the farm lane and in the mid lane. So they have pretty much open buffet on the side of Team Vitality now, and Alpha 7 needs to stop that growth.
Sunset. Niap getting a little bit low. He's going to be kind of just slowly taken down. He formlessness his way, but he can't get away from KK's reach, and he takes him down yet again. All lanes, everything in favor of Team Vitality at this stage.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for them to come back here. They're pushed towards the higher ground turrets, but they need to just kind of maybe bait off till about 10 minutes, get some resources, but is that actually going to be realistic for the side of Alpha 7? Because right now, you can see that Team Vitality are all up in their jungle, and they're not looking to take the foot off the gas any moment right now. And it's a bit of a shame here for Alpha 7. They need to just get their head in the game.
Yeah, need to get in their head in the game. But the Death at Sunset finds him yet again. The Conductor of Souls not keeping Danny alive. The secondary one with the Celestial Melody all the way in with that Meteor kill. And it looks like KK did go a little too far. And Team Vitality will just back off, and they'll slow siege the T3s instead. Yeah,
T3 potentially getting taken down in the mid lane at the 8-minute mark for Team Vitality. This is a different kind of beast hauler. We see that the Infinity Edge comes through for Arn as well, so a lot more damage coming through on the Ali. Sakir trying to get in there with a Truth Mantra.
Oh, they had a decent amount. They found Wen. That's a good start for him, the Unending Sorrow. But Niap is going to be killed, and that's not going to be enough. Valau is going to be killed as well. And it looks like they've gotten Fury, and they're looking to kind of just close this game out. They'll deal with the minions. The minion wave is starting to follow. Danny, he's trying to stay alive, trying to pick him off from afar, but he's going to get whittled. The Conductor of Souls just slowly keeping him down. It looks like he's going to go down with that. Dao will take this one, as well as the base.